What's up, everyone? Jeff from HalfGenie Hero here, and you're watching Captain Algebra. Look what I got you.
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and I'm here with my monthly pickups for the month of March 2019. So let's get started. First off, going with some DS and 3DS games. So these are both sealed and very cheap, that's why I picked them up. We got Madagascar 3 and Planes. So I figure, you know, if I don't like them, my daughters might play them when they get older. Then at the same store, I got a couple PS2 games. First one, Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage. So I picked this up because it was super clean copy, and I thought, you know, maybe it would be one of those hidden gems that you wouldn't think is good, but is. Yeah, no, it's not that good. Pretty boring so far. You fly around as the three Powerpuff Girls and doing different types of missions. Sometimes it's retrieval missions, sometimes it's to fight people. But basically, you're trying to stop Mojo Jojo from becoming mayor and winning the election over mayor. So, yeah, it's interesting. But again, it's a game that my girls might like when they get old. Next one, Kim Possible, What's the Switch? So this is a game I heard about from Metal Jesus Rocks. It was a hidden gem of his. He said he played it a lot and he couldn't put it down. I liked it so far. Only thing I don't like is the missions are so short that you're constantly in the loading screen. It's not a long loading screen, but it's just kind of annoying. But it's a fun little beat 'em up. You can do different moves. There's collectibles to get in each level. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So this one was definitely worth it. I also did pick up Scarface on PS2, but unfortunately it didn't work. Now it doesn't really look that scratched, so I think if I resurface it, I might be able to get it to work. Then we got a couple NES games that Mega Dan picked up for me a couple months ago, and I finally got them from him. First of all, I got Operation Wolf, which I accidentally already had, so I don't know if I bought it after he bought those games for me and I just forgot about it, or what. But yeah, I've got 2 copies of that now. But the next one is Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2. So this is a cheap game, and I saw Renaissance stream it a few months ago, and it looked okay. It's kind of frustrating. You've got a sword, but if you use the attack button, it doesn't really do much with your sword. So the best option is to like avoid the enemies or jump into them with your sword. But then the hit detection's kind of weird. So it's an okay game though. You know, it was cheap. Glad to add it to the collection. Then the next one, Snake, Rattle, and Roll. This is a game that always looked pretty interesting to me. So you have an isometric view. You play as either Rattle or Roll, depending if it's 1 player or 2 player. And you go around having to make yourself longer by eating these little balls. And once you do, the tail starts to flash, and you go to the scale at the end of the level, and then the bell rings, and you can go through the door. But you gotta watch out for enemies, so you can lose pieces of your tail. But there's also power-ups and other things you can get. So it's a fun game. The controls are kind of weird because of the isometric view, but once you kind of get used to them, it's not too bad. It's a pretty fun game. Next, we'll go with the Switch games I picked up. First one from Limited Run Games, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. So I only have one other Shantae game, and that's HalfGenie Hero on the Wii U. And I liked that from what I played of it, and I know some people love the Shantae games, and so I had to pick this up. And so far, it's pretty fun. It's a typical Shantae game. But this time, you're trying to stop a pirate from coming back to life and taking over. And you kind of join up with Risky Boots. You're kind of forced to because you're trying to stop this pirate from coming back. But it's your typical, you know, there's things you can collect. You can upgrade your hearts by getting the squids. There's boss battles. You get coin, or you get gems as like your currency. I haven't played much of it, but you know, from what I've played so far, it still seems pretty fun. So definitely glad to pick that up. And next was actually 2 more from Limited Run, and that is Outlast and Outlast 2. So these games always seemed pretty interesting. I knew it was just like a survival horror, but I didn't know like how horror-ish it was. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So basically, you're this guy. You're a, at least in the first one, I haven't played the second one at all. You are a reporter you're investigating this asylum, and you get there, and everything's locked up. You have to use scaffolding to get in. The lights are flickering. You eventually come up to dead bodies that are missing their heads, and then you find the shelf where all the heads are laying there. And there's this guy skewered on a spike, and he starts talking to you, but he eventually dies. Then you start hearing some things and seeing some weird shit, and it's pretty crazy. Definitely fun, and it definitely gets you. Like, I played Layers of Fear a few weeks ago, and that game just, I was hoping for more horror from that game, but the jump scares became very predictable. I feel like this game, they haven't been. And the thing is, though, you can't fight. So you either have to run or hide from everything. And there's this one big dude that's just stalking you. So it's pretty cool. Can't wait to get more into it. And last, as usual, PS4. So first one is from PlayAsia, and that is the Ghoul Boy Limited Edition. So this came with the game, the soundtrack, and a manual. And basically it's like you're an old 16-bit platformer. So you go around as this guy, and you're trying to save your father from the ghouls. And you go through dungeons, towns, lots of treasure, monsters, and it's pretty fun. You can upgrade your weapon to get a longer sword. You can also get secondary weapons that you can throw at people, like spears and knives, but the spears can also be used as being thrown into the wall and stick, so you can use them to platform. So it helps you get to some hard to reach areas, as well as to find some secrets. So really fun. So if you like those types of games, definitely check it out on PlayAsia. The next game, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince Limited Edition. So I first heard about this from MC Murr. He did a little video on it and looked really cool. And one thing I was really interested about is I thought it was cool that it came with a little fairy tale book. So something, maybe I'll read my daughter someday. But it also has a soundtrack. So basically you're this wolf that sings, and the prince really likes your voice. And eventually he tries to climb up and see it, but the wolf doesn't want that to happen, so he swipes at him and he accidentally claws out his eyes. Yeah, real nice. Not good for a fairy tale. Unless, they're the old fairy tales that were pretty grim. But you feel so bad, you want to help the prince out, and so you want to bring him to the witch in the woods, but he's afraid of the claws, so you have to find a way to prevent that. So you go to the witch, and you're able to transform into a princess, and you can take his hand, and you basically guide him through the levels. But since he's blind, he's pretty much helpless, so you've got to defend him from traps, as well as monsters, so you can transform into the wolf at any time to attack monsters. There's collectibles to get, and there's different, it's basically like a puzzle game at times, so sometimes there's pressure plates you have to deal with, and have to figure out how to get through certain things. Sometimes there's platforms that break, but you have to put enough weight on it. So basically you and the prince count as one person each, but if you're the wolf, then you count as two people, so then you and the prince can be three people. So you gotta do a mess with the weights depending on what you're doing. It's really fun so far. I really love the graphic style. I'm not huge into graphics, but I just really like the cartoony look in this, and it it basically looks hand-drawn. I don't know if it is. But basically, like, you can see stuff in the foreground that gets in your way as you're walking, and stuff in the background. Very, very cool. So if these are still available, look it up, because it's a very fun game. And last, actually came today, which is the 4th of April, but I've been a little busy with my two daughters, so I haven't been able to record as much gameplay footage and get this video out. So I figured I'll put it in here, especially since most of my pickups from April will be just the Midwest Gaming Classic, so that's going to be its own separate video anyways. So I figured I'll put this one in the March pickups, and that is the Wonder Boy Returns Collector's Edition from Strictly Limited. So this is my second Collector's Edition from Strictly Limited, and so far I'm very, very impressed. It comes in these really nice cases that have a magnetic side that, keeps it shut. It comes with a soundtrack, comes with a little keychain, comes with a little bag that says Classic, and it's got the old school Wonder Boy look. It's got stickers, and then of course the game. And what's really cool about the Collector's Edition is the game cover looks like an old Sega Master System cover, with the white background with the grid. So that's pretty cool. So basically, it's a remake of the Sega Master System game. And we all know Adventure Island basically ripped this game off. So it's just like that. You got to go through the level, save Tina, got to eat fruit, watch out for enemies. It's one-hit kills. But you can also, each level, get there's 3 like things of Tina you can collect, and it allows you to get extra points as well as unlock things. So you can actually be the regular Wonder Boy, or you can be Classic Wonder Boy, or you can even play as Tina. I unlocked Classic Wonder Boy. I don't know how to do to unlock Tina yet. I basically only played through the first level and then half of the second level. But like I said, it works just like the old Wonder Boy game and Adventure Island games. It's a really fun, looks really cool. A little disappointed in the music. I don't think that's great. It's very repetitive, and not in a good way. Whereas I thought like the Adventure Island music was fantastic. So when I saw this, I had to have it. The Sega Master System cover is really what sold me on the collector's edition, and I'm really glad I got it, because this looks pretty sweet. So there you go. Those are my pickups for March of 2019. Not a ton, especially since a lot of these were actually things I ordered the previous months, and they just came this month, so I never really spent much at all this year, or much this month at all. Saved my money for Midwest Gaming Classic in a week, as well as Too Many Games in June. So hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.